world. Welcome from Australia, the Philippines, Brazil, uh, Africa, Europe, wherever you're watching us from, India, China. You're all welcome to All Things Podcast, where we dissect and analyze the global politics. This is your international political analyst, international religious analyst, where we reject the mark of the beast and its image, where we say no to the mark of the beast which is about to come. This is where we talk about global politics, global organizations, global news, global crisis, analyzing them according to the book, to the oldest book in the world, the Bible. You know, the Bible has some interesting prophecies concerning the end times. In fact, is the only book that claims to have knowledge of what will happen in the end times or the happenings of the end time. And so we're using that book, the Bible, to dissect, to analyze, to deal with the global crises that are currently happening, as the Bible contains these prophecies that has to do with the end time, the prophecies that has to do with the wars. So it told us about the wars and the rumors of the wars. All right. And now we see the wars in the war in Iran and the rumor of the World War III. So it is contained in the Bible. So the Bible has given us what to look for in the times of the end. Welcome. So while dealing with the end time events that are unfolding, and we see the war that is happening in Iran, and we see that this war is not only a regional war, a war affecting the Middle East only. We have realized that this war is affecting all of us globally. We've realized that the war has affected us financially because globally the prices of gas has gone up. Globally the prices of diesel has gone up. The prices of traveling have gone up. So all of us are affected by the war. Wherever you are, not in the Middle East, in Asia, in China, in India, every one of us is affected by this war, because this war has made it a point that fuel prices goes up, gas prices goes up, diesel prices goes up, traveling prices is up now as we speak. And what is next? Even food prices will rise. Food prices will rise because of the war. Soon we'll be paying more than what we're paying, if not already. So the war, it's not only affecting the Middle East, it's affecting everybody under the earth. Everybody on the planet is affected by the war. So how is it that a war taking place in Iran would affect you wherever you are watching us from? How is it that the war between Israel and Iran will affect everybody in the world? How is that possible? Have you asked yourself that question? How is it possible that a war taking place in Iran will affect you wherever you are? The United States of America, yes, it's part of the war. But when they took part in the war, they never thought that the war would affect their citizens. You know, Africa, we never thought the war will affect Africans. Chinese, we never thought the Chinese will be affected. Indians, everywhere in the world, the war has its effect. Prices of diesel up, prices of gas up, prices of traveling up, flying up. You understand? Because oil prices have skyrocketed and everybody is affected. And soon it will affect our food, because the truckers delivering the food, since the gas is up, the diesel is up, they have to up their prices. And as they up their prices, in order to cover for the price hikes of the truckers, the shop owners must also hike their prices. So we are all affected, with this war that is happening. But not only will it affect us when it comes to our economics or finances, it's also going to affect us when it comes to medicine. Because remember, medicine needs to be also transported. Okay, so as transport prices goes up, everything that is transported, the prices of those things or those goods that are transported will also go up. So not only will food go up, clothing will go up. In fact, about anything that we have to buy, about anything that moves through a cargo, it will go up. So the war is affecting each and every one of us. It doesn't matter what your race is. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It don't matter what your belief system is. We are all affected by this war. All right. So I don't know how in your country it has impacted you, I know how it is impacting you, or what it is rumored to be starting to put into a threat or disadvantage of your country wherever you're watching from. And let me thank you for choosing us this morning. And we want to thank you for being with us. You can help us by subscribing to the channel as we analyze the global politics. So last time we spoke about that this is going to lead us to a one world government. This is going to lead us to a one world government. We showed you last time that you have the United Nations, and we all know and we see the United Nations. And some of us, we've never pondered or critically analyzed the purpose of the United Nations. We see it, but we don't understand the mission and the purpose of the United Nations. And what is the purpose and what is the mission of the United Nations? See, the purpose and the mission of the United Nations, it is what the name says. It says nations united, uniting all nations. But what are they uniting nations for? What is the purpose of the United Nations, and why are all these nations united under one? Because if you have the United Nations, you have what you call the Secretary of the United Nations, who is the leader of the United Nations. We are yet to have a proper leader of the United Nations, like a president of the United Nations. And this is where we're going to go. So, the moment we have a president of the United Nations, that is when the United Nations will have reached uh, its full purpose. When we have the president or a leader of the United Nations who will act as the president of the United Nations. And once they act as the president of the United Nations, it simply means they are the president of the world. So the purpose of the United Nations is to have one governmental system, one government system. All right. So when we have this one government system, all nations will be answerable to this leader, which the United Nations countries will elect. And that will lead us to a one world government. I know to some it is a dream, to some it is a conspiracy theory, but this is actually what is happening. And we went on to prove that you cannot deny the possibility of a one world government when all departments of the governments of the world have been imitated by the global organizations. You have the World Health Organization. And we asked the other day, what is the function and the purpose of the World Health Organization? We discovered that the World Health Organization's purpose is to direct and control health systems in the world, especially to the United Nations. So the United Nations, they get their health mandate from the World Health Organization. So already we have this global organization that deal with health, which means now when it comes to health, the United Nations, they get their orders or their direction from the World Health Organizations, already a global power. And again, we mentioned that not only do we have the World Health Organization, we also have the World Bank. And we said, what is the purpose of the World Bank? The purpose of the World Bank is to control the banking system of the world, to merge them. All the banking system of the world must become one. That is the purpose of the World Bank. And we have the World Trade. What is the purpose of this organization, the World Trade? We discovered that it controls all trades globally. So all trades are trading in the same platform. I even made an example about those who are doing Forex. And I said, those who are doing Forex, they understand. You are trading all the currencies of the world. You are trading all the commodities of the world. You're trading gas, you're trading, it's a global platform. Already, we have that platform which controls trading, which controls banking, and we also have another platform which controls food. You've got a world food program, something like that. You know that the food you eat in your country, not all of it is grown from your country. We do exportation, we import food, we export food. So there are some foods that you are eating in your country which are not necessarily grown in your country. They come from Africa, they come from Europe, they come from China, they come from Russia, they come from Ukraine. So there's this world trade when it comes to food, to an extent that you are enjoying some food which are not grown in your nation, in your country. but you are buying them from your shops. You understand? So this is where you see these global connections in everything, money-wise, global connection, banking, global connection, health-wise, global connections. You understand? So this is why we're saying that the possibility of a new world order or a possibility of a one world government, you cannot dismiss it if you are a fair observer of the events taking place in the world. If you are a fair observer, not an emotional person, not a dismissive person, you sit down, you analyze the global politics, you sit down and you look at what is happening and say, how does this affect me? How does this affect my country? How does this affect my continent? And how does this affect me globally? Okay? Because gone are the days where things are a regional thing or a national thing. We are now in the global space. Every politics happening, they're trying to fit them in the global space. So everybody must be concerned about Iran. Everybody must be involved in Iran, in Israel. So this is how politics have been shaped to get everyone's attention. It is deliberately that the prices of gas, the prices of oil, have gone up. It is to get everyone's attention to what is happening. You know, Ukraine and Russia did not achieve what Iran has achieved because Iran did not sit back. Iran showed its military muscle, it showed its military powers, it responded to the aggression. It responded with force to an extent that even the United States of America is shocked at the response of Iran. So they tried doing that with Ukraine, but Ukraine and Russia did not get as much attention as it was needed, you know, to do so. Yes, the media tried to show us the side of Ukraine. It was always about Ukraine, Russia violating Ukraine. Right now, it's Iran violating Israel, but Israel is the one who started the war. So you can see even the media, it's also uh, taking sides to what is happening today. So if you get your information from the mainstream media, you need to sit down, dissect it, digest it, break it down, and see, is it making sense for you? Do you understand it, or you just believe it because majority of people are believing it? So very soon we're gonna have a one world government, all right? When we say one world government, we simply means all the nations of the world will have one leader or one person as the leader of the world. That's what we mean when we talk about one world government. We're saying that all nations will come together and elect one leader who will be the leader of government globally. All right. So you will still have all nations. Not to say that these nations will be done away with. You will still have these different nations, but they will give their power to the United Nations, and the United Nations will give their power to this one leader, okay? To this one world leader. So you will still have all the nations in Africa, all the nations in Asia, all the nations in Europe, all the nations in South America, North America. All these nations will still be there, but they will have surrendered their sovereignty, their state powers to the United Nations. And then the United Nations will elect a leader who will represent all nations as the president or the supreme leader of the world. And this is what we mean about the one world government. It is possible because all organizations that are needed, you know, all organizations that are needed for this to take place have already been established. Okay, all things have been already been established. I gave you an example about the World Health Organization, which controls the health matters of the world, and I told you about the World Food Program, which controls the movement, the export and importing of the food globally. And I told you about the World Trade that controls the trading, the buying and selling of the world. And I spoke again about the IMF. You know, it controls. You've got IMF, you've got the World Economic Forum. All those organizations, they deal with money. World Bank, they deal with money. You'll remember that when we have this one world government, this is where you have what you call the mark of the beast. I'm sure a lot of us have heard about the mark of the beast. Okay, how does the mark of the beast comes in? The mark of the beast comes in when this one world government has been set up. Okay, because for you to have the mark of the beast happening, it talks about you will not be able to buy, you will not be able to sell except you have the mark At this point, it doesn't matter whether you and I agree on what the mark of the beast is or on who the beast is. It doesn't matter at this point. It will matter as we continue. So once we have the one world government, then the mark of the beast is implemented. So, like I said, at this point, it doesn't matter whether you and I agree on what the mark of the beast is or what it is not. So this is how the mark of the beast is going to affect you and I. When it says we shall not be able to buy, it simply means if I have a property, I have a business, I have properties, I have my cars, I have my farm, I have everything that I have. It means should I not agree with the mark of the beast, I will not be able to dispose of my property by selling them. All right, by selling them because I don't have the mark of the beast. So, though I have my businesses, I have my cars, I have my everything, I shall not be able to sell them if I'm not part of the beast system, if I don't have the mark of the beast. All right. And if I have money, I have resources, and there is something that I need to buy, because I don't have the mark of the beast, I will not be able to buy the things I want to buy because I don't have the mark of the beast. So this is how it's going to affect you. The mark of the beast simply means all your rights will be taken away from you. Right to freedom, right to buy, right to association, right to choose what you want. All your rights will be taken away from you. So I understand that most of the time when you talk about the mark of the beast, we explain it in a way that no, you will not be able to buy, you'll not be able to sell, but we never go deeper to analyze it, because remember, the mark of the beast is a global event, it's a global crisis, it affects everybody in the world. So how can you have a mark of the beast that affects everyone in the world without having a one world system? This is where when we say this will lead us to a one world government, you need a one world government for the mark of the beast to be implemented, because the mark of the beast, it says it affects everyone, rich and poor, young and old, free and bound. Even slaves are affected by the mark of the beast. So, mark of the beast simply means all your rights will be taken from you. You will have no rights as long as you don't have the mark of the beast, or as long as you don't submit under the beast's power. All your rights will be taken away from you. You will have right to do nothing. In fact, you will even it will go to an extent that you will not be even be able to walk or to travel. While David, welcome. While David 3501 sounds like the digital currency system, like in China. Exactly. While David, the China is the first one, to implement this system, and this system in China will be implemented all over the world. Okay, so it will be implemented all over the world. There is a video clip of the World Economic Forum, Economic Forum, and IMF people discussing this thing. Because that digital currency system, for it to be activated, the government will have to know what is your stand when it comes to the system of the time, the system of the mark of the beast. So if you are against that system, your banking, your digital currency will be switched off. All right. Your digital currency will be switched off. Your digital ID will be switched off. So you cannot have access to hospital. We know hospitals, we go there for free. All right. So, but with your digital ID switched off, it cannot work. You cannot go to any hospital, you cannot go to any library, you cannot go to any place without your digital ID, and you cannot buy anything without your digital currency. So the digital currency, it is needed for the mark of the beast to be implemented without fail, because without the digital currency you cannot implement the mark of the beast. All right, that is why they're talking about a cashless society, because as long as there is cash, as long as I have cash, as long as I have $1 million worth of cash, you understand, I'll be able to buy in any shop. You understand? But as soon as they get rid of cash, then we're all compelled to use the digital currency, and all our system will just be online. There will be no tangible money or portable money that you can handle with your hands. So this is where we're going, well, David. And so the mark of the beast will take away all the rights of the people that will reject the mark of the beast. That is why it says, let me read it for you. And by me reading it from the Bible, I'm in no way um, trying to convince you of the truthfulness or the correctness of the Bible. I'm just sharing with you information that it is in the Bible and it appears to be being fulfilled at this point, and it is affecting all of us. Like I said, we are all affected by what the Bible has prophesied. Whether you believe in the Bible, it doesn't matter, but we are all affected by what it has prophesied. So let me read it from where it says in Revelation 13. All right, in Revelation 13, it says at 13:17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. 18, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. His number is 666. All right. You Dogu CC, welcome, welcome. You Dogu C6, welcome. So it says that verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. So this system, this government system, all right. Remember, the beast represent a nation or a state. All right. So this nation or this state will force all people living in the earth to receive the mark. And I said, the mark of the beast, it's not a regional crisis, it's a global crisis. This is where we're saying that we're going to have a global system, a global government, a one world government, one government, all right? For this mark of the beast to be implemented. So you hear from your hip hop artist, your billionaire and millionaire artist talking about a new world order, talking about one world order, one world government, in their music. They were planting that because the owners of the records label, the owners of the music industry are the same owners or the same runners of the global powers. Okay, the Jesuits, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, these are the people who are controlling the world. And the Jews, the billionaire Jews, a small grouping of the Jews which are billionaires and controlling and running the world. So they put it in their movies. In the movies, they talk about the New World Order. In the movies, they talk about the New World Government. You understand? They talk about New World Order, New World Order. I don't know whether it's the song by Jennifer Houston. If this isn't love, I don't know whether it's that song which begins with the words "New World Order," or I'm mistaken in it. You understand? New World Order. It's been put out there so that we get used to it. You understand? But we get used to it, without understanding it. And when somebody talks about the New World Order, we dismiss it. No, it will never happen. But We've been listening to it ever since we began to listen to music. So this is where we're going. For you to have a new world order, for you to have the mark of the beast implemented, you need a global system, one system. Okay, one system which, listen, the system doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It says in verse 16, it says, and he causeth all. See, he's causing all the people in the world, causing all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. So it doesn't matter actually who you are. All right, Wild David 3501 says, going forward, China must be the vehicle for the New World Order. Rockefeller, 1990s. Yeah, China will be the vehicle will be used as a model of what all the nations of the world should adopt. So the system in China will be used as a model for the entrance of the system. The digital currency, the digital ID. China, exactly. You're correct. You're on point. Well, David, China will be used as the model which the United States will follow, and the global powers, all of them will follow when it comes to this digital currency, because China is far ahead when it comes to that, to the civilian control, putting cameras everywhere, monitoring people. China is tops at that. So with the mark of the beast, you need the Chinese system globally. You understand? This is where China comes in, because China it's known for its cheaper products that actually works. You understand? So China have this system, and the systems that you have in China will be sent all over the world. All over the world must have the same system as the Chinese system. Let me take this time to welcome all of you who have just joined us. If you're watching us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Help us to grow, spread the message. This is an international political analyst, international religious analyst who are analyzing politics of the world, not regional things, an international platform. We are grateful for wherever you're watching us from. If you are watching us from anywhere in the world, please, you can text us there and tell us in the chats that where you're watching us from. In the chats, you can write you don't have to say anything. Just put the name of your country or the place you're watching us from. If you're from China, just text China. If you're from Australia, just text Australia, wherever you're watching us from. But if you don't want to text, it's also okay. We're just thankful for having you here. Subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing to the channel. Yeah, like we're saying, so the things we see happening in China, it will finally be, oh, New Orleans, Louisiana. Thank you. While David says from New Orleans, Louisiana, thank you there. I hope all is well there. So this is what is happening. So China, it's a model of what should happen in the world. All right. So the whole world should have surveillance. You will walk with cameras all over. They've started, where if you go to a mall, you go to a shopping center, from the gate, from the entrance, the cameras are watching you, the videos are watching you. You understand? There is nothing you do that these cameras are not watching you. So they will have to put cameras in every street. Okay. And when they put cameras in every street, these cameras will have the global database. Okay, so if you are from Africa and you're traveling to New Orleans, when you get to New Orleans, the moment you step out of the plane, the cameras in New Orleans will be able to tell who is this person, because they will have facial recognition, and all our faces will be in the same system. So wherever, when the moment you land, it doesn't matter you from the States to the Middle East. The moment you land, wherever you're landing, the cameras with facial recognition will be able to tell who is this person. You understand? And they will have your details, why you are here. Oh, this person is from New York, is visiting Iran for 3 days to do one, two, three. His religion is Muslim, Islam, or Christian, or atheist. You understand? So they will have the database of everybody. They will know you're a Christian, you're an Muslim, you are an atheist. They will know your religion. So all your information, will be in the global system. So whenever you go as an international visitor, your information, you will have to volunteer to give your information, or else you will not be able to travel. So in future, as we travel, all our information will not be private. It will be public knowledge, because every system in the world will contain our information. So this is what we're talking about, that this is a global power that will be able to control. So how will the mark of the beast take advantage of the system? It will take advantage of the system, because as we comment, as we talk, like here now, as we're talking, some of us are saying no, we support Israel, some will say no, we don't support Israel. There's that debate. If the system is about supporting Israel, so all the voices that are against Israel, those are the voices that will be suppressed, those are the voices that will be attacked by the system. So the mark of the beast will know that these people, these individuals, they don't support my system, therefore let me cut off that digital currency, let me cut off that digital ID, until you are put in such a pressure where you are hungry. where you're thirsty, where you're homeless, where you don't have place to stay, you have nothing. And then you say, no, let me just take the mark of the beast so that I can eat. Let me just take the mark of the beast so that I can have shelter. Let me take the mark of the beast so I can have water. So this is how the mark of the beast system is going to be implemented. You understand? So it will not be a one-day thing or a one-time thing, or it's not going to be like today you'll be given an opportunity to take it or reject it. It will be over time. So some will be able to say, I don't want the mark of the beast. But as you don't want the mark of the beast, or you don't receive the mark of the beast, as you see your cars, you cannot buy fuel, you cannot pay rent, you cannot pay for your mortgage, you cannot you start realizing that, well, I cannot pay for my car, I cannot pay for my house, I cannot pay for my children's school fees, I cannot pay for the university fees for my daughter, for my son. As soon as you realize that, and maybe your son wants to go to school, maybe your son, maybe your daughter has taken the mark of the beast, but now you've become a stumbling block for your son, and your family is like, daddy, we're hungry, mommy, we're hungry, just this. So we rather die of hunger because you don't want the mark of the beast. How are you so selfish? So when families begin to fight, there's division among the families, there's fight, there's divorce, there's so the mark of the beast will come and even destroy families, even destroy relationships between mother and daughter, between father and son, between families, brothers and sisters. The mark of the beast will be also used as a weapon to separate families, to cause war between families, to create enmity amongst ourselves. All right, because it will be us individuals who will be used once again to go and point the people who have rejected the mark of the beast. You understand? So the mark of the beast crisis will divide families, will divide friends, will divide brothers and sisters, just like COVID-19 did. You remember during COVID-19, they made it show that we hate those who are not vaccinating. We hated those who were not putting on masks. We hated those who were not sanitizing their hands. We hated them. So the government told them that if you see a man not vaccinating, not vaccinated, you see a man uh, not with, I mean, without a mask, a man without sanitizing his hands, don't allow them inside your premises. Don't allow them inside your shops. Don't allow them in your cars. Don't allow them to walk your streets because they may have the virus and they may be spreading the virus. So the same tactics, the same methodology that was used then is going to be used now. All right. So when we talk about the mark of the beast, it's deeper than what the songs are saying. It's deeper than what we see in the movies. In the movies, you just see a person with 666 here, and you think, well, that is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is deeper than that. It goes way deeper than that. It's a war. All right. It's a war. It's going to be a war. Many they call Armageddon. They call it Armageddon. What is happening in Iran? That is not Armageddon. That is not Armageddon. You see, you um wait until your own family hates you. Wait until your family cannot welcome you in their residence, in their house. Wait until your own family tells you that if you're not gonna do this, please, we don't want to see you, never talk to us. Because that's what the mark of the beast is gonna do, because no family will want to be the enemy of the state, and no family will want to host or house an enemy of the state, because the state at the time of the mark of the beast, everyone who rejects the mark of the beast will be the enemy of the state. So you will be regarded as a threat. You having a potential to cause an insurrection, having a potential to cause a coup. You understand? So this is what is going to happen when we talk about the mark of the beast. But for all of this to happen, we need a global system. We need a global government. This is where the one world government comes in. And not only will it end up with a government, but it also end up with religion. Because what separates us the most in the world, it's not race. when it comes to race, we no longer, it's just few extremists there and there, few extremists amongst the whites, few extremists amongst the blacks, few extremists among the Chinese, among the Indians, among the Asians, you understand? But when it comes to the race, we have already conquered that, because in almost every nation you will find all races. There are black people in China, there are black people all over the world, Chinese in Africa, Chinese in the United States, the Americans. The governments have done this thing that in every nation there are officials, there are workers from all these different countries. In South Africa we have um, businesses from China, from United States, from India, and they're all official here in South Africa. So likewise in America, we've got our South African brothers working there, in all business trades. You understand? So when it comes to race, we have crossed that line. It's just few individuals who are still stubborn. You understand? But when it comes to religion, we still have problems, because every religion seeks to be superior to other religions. So that's where we're stuck. And therefore, religion also, it's next in line. We ought to have one world government and one world religion. And by having a one world religion, it doesn't simply mean that every one of us in the world will be worshiping one God. No, when we talk about one world religion, it is not in that context that everyone in the world will be forced to worship one God. No, you'll still keep your God. You'll still keep your idols, your images, if you're worshiping images. If you're worshiping mountains, you're worshiping wood, you'll still be worshiping your wood, your mountains, your rock, your seas, your water as God. But what is going to happen is that you will not be allowed to speak bad about one's religion. In other words, if you're a Christian and you believe that the Bible teaches against same-sex marriage, you will not be allowed to preach on same-sex marriage against them. You can only be allowed to preach for them. Understand? So you cannot say a man shall not marry a man. You cannot say a man shall not marry a woman, because you'll be now talking bad against your brother. You understand? In religion. So when it comes to religion, you will be able to see the wrongs that other religions or other religious bodies are doing, but you're not allowed to condemn them. You're not allowed to speak bad about them. So that one world religion, it comes in that context that we need to have tolerance. Okay, we need to have tolerance. Um, Believe what you believe. Believe your God is this. Believe your God is that. But don't talk bad about me. And there's this thing that the Pope says, that you are not allowed to convert, to preach a message with a purpose to convert other members from other religions to come to you. So it is called stealing the sheep. You're not supposed to steal the sheep. You're not supposed to steal the members of other churches, the members of other denominations. In other words, you just talk about the love of God, talk about how God loves you, talk about how God loves all of us. You are not allowed to talk about the sins of other people. So when you talk about one world religion, it will come in that context. Not that all of us will worship one God, all of us will worship the same thing. No, it's not. It's not that. So the one world religion, all religious bodies will come together under the same leader, as the same leader of the one world government, to say, we are one, brothers. Let's stop all this fighting. Let's stop all this name calling. Let's stop all these divisions amongst ourselves. You believe that Jesus is God, fine. I believe that Allah is God, fine. You believe that Buddha is God, fine. You believe that, you understand? So they will say, let every religious body stick to its belief without harming the other religious body, without harming the other people. Believe in what you believe in, but because you believe Jesus Christ is Lord, don't say what I believe in is not God. Remember, they say there are many ways to God. Even your famous pastors such as Joel Osteen, they believe that there are many ways to God. In other words, Jesus is not the only way to God. So why do you Christians claim that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life? As if you are not with Jesus, you are not in the way, you are not in the truth, and you don't have life. So this is what the one world religion will be seeking to achieve, to silence more especially Christians, because Christianity is the only religion that claims Jesus Christ to be the way, the truth, and the life. Christianity is the only religion that seeks to convert other people from other religions to the truth, because Christianity believes it has the truth. All right. So I can see Islam, but Islam will not be affected as much as Christianity. All right. Islam will also be affected, but not as much as Christianity. Edwin Taparong, welcome, welcome, brother, welcome, brother. It's been a long time. And Edwin Taparong says, that's right, the so called predestination of religion. Exactly, exactly. You understand? Exactly. So, this is what we're going to see, and this is what we're going to be dealing with. You understand? In other words, you are no longer allowed to believe what you want to believe. To believe, in fact, they call it freedom, but if you look at it, it's not freedom. If I read the Bible or I read the Quran or I read any writing and I'm convicted of what the Quran says, I'm convicted of what the Bible says, I will not be allowed to voice my conviction because my conviction can harm the other person. So I'm not allowed to say, but the Bible says, or the Quran says, or this says. I'm not allowed to do that because what I believe in may hurt the next person. So in order to care for the next person, you just have to believe what you believe and keep it within yourselves. You cannot. It will be regarded as hate speech. All right. It will be regarded as a hate speech for one to say no, Christians are lost. If I say Catholics are lost and I say Muslims are lost, it will be hate speech. So you are not to speak. So that's why I'm saying that the mark of the beast will come and strip all our rights, not only financial rights, buying power, selling power, but even freedom of choice will be taken away from you because you'll be told that this constitute hate speech. To come and stand like many people are standing in street corners, preaching the gospel, standing in street corners, talking about many Muslim brothers, like who's this guy? Farrakhan. Farrakhan, I think Farrakhan is both Muslim and Christianity. I don't understand Farrakhan. Muslim and Christianity combined together, and that these brothers who have combined Muslim and Christianity, they use the Bible and they use the Quran simultaneously. I don't know what they call them. Does anybody know what we call those people? They are both for the Bible and the Quran. They mix the Bible and the Quran, but mostly they use the Bible more than they use the Quran. But they are Islam, but they're Muslims. You understand? They talk about Elijah Muhammad. They talk about these great people. You understand? And they love doing that. Stand in the street corner with a microphone and a speaker, and they talk, about yeah, what the Quran says. They talk about what the Bible says. Do you know that will be regarded as a hate speech soon? Because you are talking about your God, but as you talk about your God, you're undermining my God. So it is hate speech. So immediately the police will come and send you away and give you a warning. Should you continue, sir, we'll take you into prison. And the punishment will be imprisonment. Punishment will be imprisonment. So the mark of the beast, when it comes, it will take all your rights. You see, your rights to drive, you will not be able to do anything. So when the Bible says there, and remember again, I said it that whether you believe in the Bible or you don't believe in the Bible, it's okay. But what the Bible has prophesied is going to affect you. It's going to affect me. It doesn't matter what your stance is. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. It's happening already. All right. Let me take Wild David 3501. He says the Quran tells Muslim if they are unsure of something to ask Christians because we ain't the closest in faith. Oh, all right. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the Quran tells Muslim if they are unsure of something, they must ask Christians. Okay, I didn't know that. Thanks. Okay. Do you have any reference? Do you remember? in your head the reference where we can get that, in which book of the Quran and which verse, if you can remember from the top of your head. If you don't remember from the top of your head, it's fine. We can ask AI, he will give us the reference. But thank you for that information. Thank you for that information. Thank you for that information, well, David. All right. All right. Well, David says, I don't, but I will find it now and be back. All right. Thank you. Thank you, well, David. Thank you, well, David. Please get us that information. So what is going to happen when we talk about the mark of the beast? I had said it earlier on that the mark of the beast is deeper than what the movies are showing us. It's deeper than what the music industry is saying, than what people are saying about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast will destroy families. The mark of the beast will even destroy churches, Islam included. Muslims will be divided when the mark of the beast comes. Even the Buddhist, all religious bodies will be divided, because there will be some who say, no, no, no. Those who believes in Buddha, they will want nothing to do with, they will want to defend Buddha to the letter. Those who believed in Islam, they will want to defend the Quran. They will see it as a betrayal to the Quran to give in to the new order of things. You understand? Christians, those devout Christians, will see it as a betrayal of scriptures, not to speak against some sinful acts, not to speak against some practices which the Bible clearly teaches that they are sinful, they are not correct. So they will see it as something that is sinful and something that should not be tolerated. And as a result, these organizations will be divided. Muslims will be divided, you understand? And families will also be divided, because there will be some members who say, well, let's just take the mark of the beast. We continue owning our house, continue owning our cars, continue owning our businesses, continue going to school, continue going to hospitals, because access to the things that we're accessing now. The mark of the beast will strip us all of our rights, okay? The mark of the beast will okay. I thought I had written something here. The mark of the beast will not. All right. So let me try and repeat what I said. Okay. While David is back, he says the reference which says Muslims, if there's something they are unsure of, they must ask Christians. He says it is found in Surah Yunus, Surah, the book Surah Yunus, I believe is chapter 10, verse 94. And again in Surah Al-Anbiya, chapter 21, verse 7. All right. Thank you for the reference, brother. Thank you for the reference, brother. And this is what we said the other time, that we do not speak about something that we don't have a reference to. We speak about something that we know is written down. People can go and read. While David 3501 says, I'm sure there are more references, but that is quick answer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Well, David. Thank you so much for continue our analysis. I don't know. Am I able to download the Quran? Am I able to download my Quran on my laptop? All right. Am I able to download the Quran on my laptop? I'm just checking here if I'm able to download the Quran. But yeah, so this is what is happening. This is what is going to happen. So the mark of the beast will take our rights, our freedom. It will take our freedom of speech, all right? The mark of the beast will take your freedom of speech, freedom of movement, all right? Freedom of movement, association, because as long you don't have the mark of the beast, it's as if you do not exist from wherever state you are from. Because once you don't have the mark of the beast, for you to move, you need your digital ID, because they need to know who's moving. You understand? So as soon as your digital ID is off and you are moving, and you've got this Chinese surveillance system, cameras with the ability to read your facial recognition, You know, the thing we do with our phones that you can switch on your or lock your phone with your face. You can unlock your phone with your face. You understand? So that system on your phone, it is a system that is going to be put globally, and it will be able to identify who is this person, where was this person born, where did he go to school. So they will have your system in like in a split of a second. You understand? So the mark of the beast is about that. So your freedom of speech will be gone, freedom of movement will be gone, freedom of association will be gone, freedom to buy gone, freedom to sell gone, freedom to own, your rights to ownership, to own land gone, your rights to own property gone, your rights to own a car gone. All rights that you have currently will be gone during the mark of the beast. That is why it says you will not be able to buy or sell. Okay, in other words, let's say you're a billionaire. Okay, you're a billionaire. You have buildings, hotels, lodges. You know, you've got schools, universities. You've got all these properties in your name, farms. You've got all these cars, fleet of cars, airplanes. As a billionaire, you have all these things. All right. When the mark of the beast is enacted, it says, if you don't support the mark of the beast, kingdom. Remember, when we talk about the mark of the beast, we are talking about a government, all right? It's a government, it's a state power. The mark of the beast is a state power, is the authority of the state power, all right? So if you don't submit to the authority of that state at that time, remember the mark of the beast is future. I don't know after how many years, but it is near according to the events that are taking place now. It is near. So when this world power, and the mark of the beast is a global government, for that much I can tell you. The mark of the beast is the global government. It's a one world government. The mark of the beast can only be implemented when all the nations of the world are united with this agenda. And so that's why we say the mark of the beast is it's a global system. It's a global government system. Have one leader, one constitution, one purpose, one mission, speak with one voice. All the nations, they speak with one voice. In other words, at the time of the mark of the beast, there will be no nation that will be against homosexuality. There will be no nations which will be against. Now, I'm not talking about the individuals in those nations. I'm talking about the governments. Like now in Africa, you've got many countries that are rejecting homosexuality. You've got many countries that are rejecting many things, abortion, you know, all those things. You will face imprisonment should you do abortion or administer abortion. You understand? So, but during the time of the mark of the beast, all nations, all governments will speak in one voice when it comes to abortion, when it comes to all these things that are happening today in the world. You understand? And they speak with one voice when it comes to, yes, those who are against the government, we need to be firm and we need to be strong and we need to show them that we are not playing when we talk about uh, uh, we are not playing when we talk about this one world government. So anybody who does not support it, they must not enjoy the benefits of the United Nations. Remember, so you'll be rejecting the power of the United Nations. And they will say, if you're rejecting the power of the United Nations, you are rejecting the power, then you're not worthy to enjoy the benefits of the United Nations. You are not able to enjoy the benefits of this global entity, this global government. That's why you are not able to buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast, unless you agree with the system. So this is exactly what we're dealing with. You understand? So you need to be aware of what the mark of the beast is. So not only does it strip you of your rights, not only does it take your rights of movement, freedom of speech, it takes more than that. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take your it's going to destroy families, like I said already, because in our families, even during COVID-19, we're divided. There were those members of the family who said, we're not going to take vaccines, right? We're not going to be vaccinated. We're not going to be wearing masks. And families were divided. Families, brothers and sisters were hating on each other because the brother said, no, COVID-19 is a scam. I'm not going to put on a mask. And somebody said, no, please put on your mask. You'll make us sick. Some had to lock themselves in the room. They could only go out in the house when the others are sleeping. So this is what exactly the mark of the beast is going to do. It's going to destroy relationships, both family relationships, church relationships, business relationships, anything that is a relationship. The mark of the beast will destroy it. The mark of the beast will harm it. All right. And I know some of us, we've never thought that far as to how dangerous is the mark of the beast for my family. Because if you reject as a breadwinner, if you reject the mark of the beast, what happens to the people you are supporting? You understand? What happens to the mouths that you're supporting? What happens to your wife? What happens to your children? What happens to your other family members that are depending and relying on you? What happens to them? Will they love you? They'll say, we are hungry. You could work. You have the potential to work, but you're refusing to go to work. We are being kicked out of the house because of your ego. Kicked out of the house because you don't want to buy, because you don't want to bow down to a mark of the beast. And in fact, like, what do you lose? Please bow down to the system. Get us food. Get us shelter. Get us a car. Get us our businesses back. Imagine the entire business will be shut down just because you don't have the mark of the beast. Your business will be shut down. Right? Your farm shut down, kicked out of the place if you have not finished buying it. If you're still paying for it, they will say, sir, how are you going to continue paying rent since you don't have the mark of the beast? And you know, without the mark of the beast, you cannot buy, you cannot sell. How are you going to buy gas for your car if you don't have the mark of the beast? Because without the mark of the beast, you cannot buy, you cannot sell. How are you going to buy electricity? How are you going to pay for electricity if you don't have the mark of the beast? Because without the mark of the beast, you cannot enjoy these things. You understand? So this is what we're dealing with. The mark of the beast is deeper than we think it to be. It's so deeper, it's so dangerous for both family members and for everybody. So the mark of the beast, it's so dangerous. You cannot go, you cannot attend school, you cannot attend anything. Even your neighbors will not want to see you, because remember, as soon as you don't have the mark of the beast, you have become the enemy of the state. You have become the enemy of the state, and you will be identified as such, the enemy of the state, the enemy of world peace. You understand? Because the world says, let's come together. Let us not speak ill of another. Let us not be divided. Let us speak with one voice. Let us be united in all things. Okay, as we have united in government, let us also unite in religion. Let us also unite in all moral issues. And some people will say, how can I unite with you when you're killing babies? So the issues of abortion, the issues of same-sex marriage will have not yet met its resistance. Okay, we are still to decide for abortion. We are still to decide for for homosexuality. We are still to be put into test for these moral issues that we see today. Having naked women on our screens, pornographic images, all these things, we are still to be tested on the morality. You understand? And the mark of the beast will be that climax of the test, because we shall say, how can we unite behind the government who kills innocent children? How can you unite under this government which does not know what is wrong and what is right, where everything is right? How can I unite when my freedom of speech, my rights are taken away? My freedom, my right to choose. How can I unite under this government which has no distinction between right and wrong, between evil and good. Everything is good, everything is good, nothing evil. How can I unite over such? And in those who refuse, then they will feel the mighty power of the state. And they will make it look as if you are killing yourself with hunger. They will make it look as if you are voluntarily losing or giving away your house. Because when you cannot buy, when you cannot sell, when you cannot do all these things, you know what is going to happen? They start evicting you from your house because you did not pay rent. Evict you from your house because you did not pay electricity. Evict you from your house because you pay for water, evict you for your house because you have not renewed the title deed, evict you from the house because for you to keep the house, for you to maintain the house, you need the rights to buy and the rights to sell, the rights to pay. But at this point, because you don't have the mark of the beast, you cannot make any payment, no matter how small it is. And during the mark of the beast a crisis, nobody can pay on your behalf because it's a digital currency. You can only pay for yourself. During the mark of the beast crisis, no transfer. You don't have access to a phone. You cannot make a call. You do not have data. You cannot go on the internet. You cannot do anything. You cannot use your X. You cannot use TikTok. You cannot even access TikTok because you don't have the mark of the beast. So you will be like wiped out of the system of the beast. You will be as if you do not exist. And when people begin to be stressed because how can I lose my house which I've worked hard for? How can I lose my car which I've worked hard for? How can I lose my business? How can I lose my car? How can I lose all of these things just because I refuse to agree with the government? And when people go under stress, they go under depression. Some they will then give in to the beast so that they can buy, so that they can sell. Listen, it says whether small or great, rich and poor, it doesn't matter who you are. All the billionaires of the world will be tested. All the richest people of the world will be tested. All the poor people will be tested. So it won't matter what your status is. That's why I'm saying the mark of the beast will affect everyone in the world. And most of the time, we never analyze it or consider it that way. We think the mark of the beast will just be something that will be, tormenting a few individuals here and there, No, it's not like that. It's not like that. Why would they go through the trouble of uniting the entire world? Ron Lake, brother, welcome, welcome. Good morning to you. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Happy to see you, Ron Lake. Welcome, brother. We are talking about what the purpose of the mark of the beast, understanding the mark of the beast and its impact on those who will reject the mark of the beast. All right. So the mark of the beast will come and strip us of our rights to buy, rights to sell. So a right to buy, it goes with the right to pay. All right, rights to make payments. So you'll not be able to make payments because you don't have the mark of the beast. You cannot pay your rent, you cannot pay your mortgage, you cannot pay your water, you cannot pay for electricity, you cannot pay for your car, you cannot renew your car's license, you cannot renew your driver's license. Like you can literally do nothing. You cannot do anything. You understand? You will not be able to own your phone because your digital ID will be offline. So anything that is connected to your ID will not be able to work since your ID will be offline. You understand? So this is what we're dealing with. Edwin Taparong says, yes, that's right, because those who do not follow the wishes of those who have the mark of the beast are persecuted and punished by them. Exactly. So the mark of the beast will be a persecuting power, persecuting state. If you do not agree with them, they persecute you, they come after you. All right. But they will first have to take what you own.
and leave you with nothing. They will first have to take what you own and leave you with nothing. That's what they must do first. They must take whatever that you own and leave you with nothing. Take your house, take your car, take your banking, your money, everything, everything, until it's just you and your mind. You understand? Now, just imagine this thing. You refuse the mark of the beast, and all of a sudden, you have no place to stay. All of a sudden, you have no money. You have no work. Like you have nothing. You are in the streets. In fact, you will not even be allowed in the streets because the streets will be monitored. Remember, you'll have these facial recognition cameras. So as soon as they see you, you'll be invading or you'll be trespassing because you don't have a proper ID to be in the street. So it'll be like you're trespassing if you don't have the ID, isn't it? You rejected this government. So what are you doing in the streets of the government that you have rejected? You understand? So it'll be like you're trespassing. The only place that will be suitable for those who reject the mark of the beast, it will be in the country where there are no such technologies like in the cities, in the towns. You understand? That's why the other time we spoke about us trying to have land in the forest, land in the country, do country living. Yes, at the moment, the mark of the beast is not yet here, but we can prepare for ourselves so that when the mark of the beast comes, we leave the cities where we must pay rent, pay electricity, pay for water, pay for all these things. You understand? Because in the country, you pay nothing. Understand? Yeah, though eventually, when they realize that we are moving to the country, they will start coming to the country with these laws. You understand? But at least in the country, it will be better than in the city because in the cities, you will just be taken out with immediate effect. You understand? So once they've dealt with wiping us out of the cities because we rejected the mark of the beast, that's where they will say, okay, they're now out of the cities, they're now out of the suburbs, out of towns. Where are they? And then they'll say they're in the villages, they're in the country, in the communities in the country, and that's when they will start coming for us in the country. All right, but when they come for us in the country, they will just be using our family members. They will just be using the people in whom divisions were caused already. Remember, I said families will be broken, divorce will be skyrocketing, trust will be destroyed among brothers and sisters. So they will use our brothers and sisters who know our whereabouts. We rejected the mark of the beast, they accepted the mark of the beast. Okay, so as I reject the mark of the beast, my businesses and my son takes the mark of the beast. They take my businesses, give to my son. You understand? As the moment you reject the mark of the beast and say you don't want it, they give you until a specific time to make a choice. Maybe they give you 4 days, 6 days, 7 days. Okay, you are rejecting it now. So we're gonna kick you out of your house, kick you out of your business, kick you out of your workplace, and we're giving you 7 days. If you're not back in 7 days, we're gonna transfer this wealth to your son, your family, because they must eat and they will be pushing the rights of your children. Your children have a right to eat. Your children have a right to school, right to education. By not refusing the mark of the beast, you are depriving your children the right to education, right to this, right to this. But in order to give your children rights to education, rights to all these freedoms, you must sacrifice your own, freedom of choice. So this is how they're going to play it. You understand? So when we are in the country, we shall be able to survive, to withstand many of these until now they make a law to say that wherever they are, let's go and attack them because they are the reason the world it is what it is. You see, those who refuse the mark of the beast, any accusation, they will just create any accusation just to kill the people. Well, at this point, let me thank you all for joining us. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and share the video, share the information. This is All Things Podcast, and I am your host, Nati. And we are talking about global politics. This is your international political analyst, international religious analyst. We do not compromise, we do not dilute. It is independent and impartial. We talk it as it is. We do not put our favorite stories and suppress what we don't like. Any news, we talk about it, we present it as it should be presented. And please feel free to comment your disagreements or your agreement. You are free to voice your voice, whether you agree with us with our analysis of the mark of the beast, its impact. If you agree with us, it's okay. If you do not agree with our analysis of the mark of the beast and how it will destroy families, how it will destroy all religious bodies, I said it that all religious bodies will be affected. And I said there are religious bodies like Muslim or Islam. Islam will be divided when it comes to this issue, because not all Muslims will follow the agenda of the beast. Not all of them. Some will, but not all of them. Even among Christians, not all Christians will agree with the mark of the beast, but majority of Christians will agree with the mark of the beast. We can see that majority of Christians, they are not thinking properly. They take what they're being told. Example, it's their support for Israel. No matter what Israel does, they think Israel is God's nation. They think Israel is holy. So you cannot tell majority of Christians that Israel is wrong. They will say when you say Israel is wrong, you simply mean God is wrong, because they believe Israel to be God. So that's why I'm saying that majority of Christians will be taken away when the mark of the beast comes. In fact, they will be the one behind the mark of the beast, pushing it to say it is necessary for people to honor God. If people don't want to honor God, we must force them to honor God. If they refuse us to force them to honor God, then let's take their resources from them. Let's take their houses from them. Let's take all these so that they can have time to think and consider. And then eventually they will believe that by stripping us of our rights to buy, to sell, then we'll come back and say, oh, we're dying of hunger. Please let us into the system. Let us buy, let us sell, so that we can be able, to live. So majority of Christians will reject the mark of the beast. Majority of Muslims, or no, I'm sorry. Majority of Christians will accept the mark of the beast. Majority of Muslims will accept the mark of the beast. Majority of atheists will accept the mark of the beast. I said it doesn't matter which religion you are from. We are being prepared for a one world religion. And that one world religion, it has nothing to do with a deity that you worship. You can still worship your God. You can still believe in any God that you believe in, but you are not allowed to undermine other religious bodies. You are not allowed to undermine other religious bodies and to talk bad about their gods or talk bad about their worship system. You will not be allowed. So you'll have these agreements among these religious bodies to say, we are brothers, we are one, let us speak with one voice, we all worship God. Remember, they believe that Jesus is not the only way to God. There are many ways to God. So do not undermine my way, which leads me to God. It is my way. No matter how foolish you may think of it, no matter how stupid you may think it is my way to God, to God. So you need to respect that. So this is what it is meant by the one world religion. These religious bodies will agree that as much as we have our differences, as much as we have our differences in worship, differences in doing things, some they worship the ancestors, some they worship demons, some worship the dead, some worship, they say, as much as we have these differences, let us respect each other. And what will be the sign that all religious bodies have agreed and they've come to a single understanding? How will we know that these religious bodies are united? We will know when we see all religious bodies, the leaders, the officials of these religion. Yes, World David 3501, world peace. Remember, we are doing this for world peace. Mark of the beast is coming to enforce world peace. But as it enforces world peace, it deals with those who are a threat or who are rejecting this world peace according to them. So you're correct, World David. It's for world so-called world peace. That's very correct. That's very correct. That's very correct. It's refreshing always when we see comments like this. Edwin Taparong says, "Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I was a bit late earlier, and yes, what you are saying is also right. We can speak, but we cannot speak bad words against their beliefs." Exactly, exactly. You are not allowed to speak bad words against their beliefs because it's their belief they have. So this is what the mark of the beast is coming to enforce, because the mark of the beast is telling you what to speak, what not to speak, what to say, what not to say. You cannot criticize anybody. And how will we know that all nations are united now? They speak with one voice. We will know when all religious bodies endorses Sunday as the day of worship. All religious bodies will endorse Sunday as the day of worship, Sunday as a day of world peace. What I'm talking about, you can Google it, it's out there. World Economic talks about it, IMF talks about it, your leaders in UK, in London, they talk about it. What I'm saying right now, it's there on the internet. The Pope talks about it, Heritage Foundation, this Roman Catholic foundation, or led by you understand, they talk about it. MD Shad Jaffa, welcome. He says, I ordered. What did you order, my good sir? MD Shad Jarrah, what did you order? You ordered what, brother? All right, yeah. So how will we know that all religious bodies are united? When they all endorse Sunday as a day of worship, then we'll know that all religious bodies, they talk with one language, with one voice. And this is where the problem comes in for genuine Muslims. This is where the problem will come in for genuine Christians, for genuine Buddhists. In all religions, we have genuine people. In Islam, you have genuine Muslims. In Christianity, you have genuine Christians and those who are just attending for the sake of attending. So the genuine ones are those who love their religion, those who love Islam, those who don't want to contaminate Islam, those who don't want to contaminate Christianity, those who don't want to contaminate atheism, those who don't want to contaminate Buddhist or Judaism. All those genuine members, when the mark of the beast is enforced and all religious bodies say, yes, we must all have one common day of worship, which will be Sunday. This is when the Muslim will start to say, but we Muslims, our day is Friday. Why do we go to a Sunday? You understand? And the Buddhist and the atheist will say, we don't have a day of worship because we don't believe in any deity. We don't believe in anything. This is where the problem will start. You understand? So you already have divisions among the religious bodies, amongst themselves. And this is where you have separation. They live this system of Islam. They live this Christianity. You understand? Because the Christians, the moment the day of worship is announced to be Sunday for all religious bodies, now some Christian will start to want to explain why Sunday should be the day. And as they study Sunday, they will realize that the Bible does not endorse Sunday. And when they realize that the Bible does not endorse Sunday as the day of worship, but it endorses Saturday, the seventh day of the week, Saturday, the Sabbath day of the week, they will ask, why are we not endorsing the Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week, Saturday, if we want to have that common day? Because the Bible says it's Saturday. Why are we Sunday instead of Saturday? This is when the war will begin and reach its climax, to say, we do not care what the Bible says. In fact, it's about world peace. It's not about Bible peace. It's about the world peace. It's not about the correctness of the Bible or You understand? It's not about the correctness of the Bible, it's about the peace of the world. So we've gathered together as religious bodies and we've decided that Sunday will be the day. Muslim will say, well, let Sunday be the day for Christians and let us keep our Friday as our day. What you do on Sunday, we'll do on Friday. And this is where it's going to say it is the state, it is the laws of the nations. All the nations have agreed, all the religious bodies have agreed that we're going to have Sunday as the day of worship. It's final, it's not open for discussion. This is where separation again will take place. The Muslim community will be divided. Some Muslims will say, no, it's fine. For world peace, we'll keep Sunday. Some Christians will say, no, it's fine. We've been keeping Sunday anyway. For world peace, even though Sunday is not biblical, but for world peace, we'll keep Sunday. You understand? The Buddhists, the Hindus, the atheists, some will say, well, it doesn't matter. Do whatever. You understand? But here's the catch. Here's the catch. Sunday then becomes the mark of the beast. And how does Sunday become the mark of the beast? Because Sunday will be used as the test of loyalty to the government. Sunday will be used as the test of loyalty to these religious bodies. Do you believe, do you agree with what the religious bodies have agreed upon? Because if I agree with what the religious bodies have agreed in endorsing Sunday, then I should keep Sunday as the day of worship. The moment I don't keep Sunday as the day of worship, it means I am against the leadership of the world. I am against the leadership of religion. So I am stubborn. I am a stumbling block. I am the enemy of the state. That is why when you talk about the mark of the beast, you need to follow it step by step. You need to identify what brings about the mark of the beast. It will be those genuine people, like I've mentioned in Islam. Genuine people in Islam, the genuine Muslim, the devout Muslims will disagree with the Sunday worship. The devout Buddhists, the devout Christians, they will disagree with an endorsement of a Sunday. Each will want to keep their day of worship. Those who believe in the Sabbath, the seventh day of the week, will want to keep the Sabbath. The Muslims will want to keep their Friday. The atheists will want to do nothing with worship, but also they will be forced to honor Sunday. Because as you honor Sunday, this is when your bank, your digital currency will be pumped. Your digital currency and your digital ID will be activated by entering a place of worship on a Sunday. So when you do not enter a place of worship on a Sunday, then this is when your digital ID will not report that you entered a place of worship in support of the government of the time. Remember, it will be the church using the state to influence this law. It will be the religious leaders who will say to the states, as religious leaders, we've agreed, and the state has agreed it is with us. In order for us to know who attends church, and those who attend church, they're in agreement with the state. So they will want to know who attended church, and how will they know? The digital ID upon your entrance to a church, to a synagogue, to a mosque, to a place of worship on Sunday. Your digital ID will reflect that you entered such a place. And for those of you whom you will not attend Sunday, and your digital ID will not reflect that you entered, you will be identified as the enemies of the state, because everyone will be ordered to enter a place of worship, to enter a synagogue, to enter a chapel, to enter a mosque, to enter any place, a shrine, any place of worship. Remember, I said it doesn't matter what you are worshiping, as long on Sunday you will enter that place of worship. And then your digital ID will reflect that you entered. And as you do offering, your digital currency will reflect that you gave an offering. You understand? And that's how they will know who went to church on Sunday, who did not go to church on Sunday. You understand? Remember, it's not about who you worship, The world, one world religion, it has nothing to do with who you worship, but it has everything to do with when you worship. Not who you worship, not how you worship, not where you worship, but when do you worship. Sunday is the day that they will set apart as the global government, global religion power takes over. So that is what the mark of the beast is all about. The noise you hear, the noise you hear outside, it's not what the mark of the beast is all about. The mark of the beast is deeper, it's broad, it's complicated than just a number written in your forehead. In fact, there will be no number written in your forehead to show that you have the mark of the beast. Because if it was the number, anybody will just put that number here. Even if I'm pretending, I'll just put the number here where I got the mark of the beast, and you think I got the mark of the beast, and I don't. And I'll just go to any shop and buy, because you look at me here, you see 666, like he's one of us. But it's not like that. It's not that. The mark of the beast is deeper than that. It's about controlling your ID, controlling your currency. So the digital ID and the digital currency you see being tested or implemented in China, it will eventually be implemented all over the world. And as the religious bodies comes together with a Sunday, and what I'm talking about, you can Google Sunday national laws or Sunday global laws. What I'm talking about has always been in the pipeline, in what they call blue laws. You understand? So what we're talking about, what we're discussing, has always been in the pipeline, and it's going to be implemented. And when it is implemented, we'll start to defend it, because while it was coming, we had no idea it was coming. We had no idea how it was. We talk about the mark of the beast. We don't know how the mark of the beast will come about, what will lead to this mark of the beast, and how will it affect us. We don't know. We're not even concerned about that. We just talk about it, we sing about it, we act about it, we do movies about it, but we really don't know what is this mark of the beast. If you're watching us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Do not leave the channel without subscribing. Subscribe, share the information, help the channel to grow. I just want to thank you all for subscribing. When we started from zero. We started from zero. We went to 50. We began to do lives at 50. From 50, we went to 60, we went to 70, we went to 100, we went to 200, 300. Now we're almost going for 400 subscribers in just a matter of a short space of time. I just want to thank you for subscribing. Thank you for keeping on coming back. Please, let's share this information. It is important, because the investment, our parents are working very hard. Our brothers and sisters are working very hard. Our family members are working very hard, doing business, and they're not aware how the mark of the beast will affect their businesses. They have properties in different places. They are not aware how the mark of the beast will affect their properties. So when you share with them this video, you share with them this information, even if they don't believe that the mark of the beast is going to come. But when they have this information, one day when the mark of the beast finally comes, they will revisit this video. They will come to this information, and they will know how to disperse their wealth at the moment. I can tell you now, it is not wise to invest in the cities. It is not wise to build houses in the cities. It is not wise to invest all your monies in the cities, because when war comes, it does not target the country space. It does not target the forest. It does not target the villages. It targets the cities. So you run a risk that should the war come to your nation, come to your country, and your business is in the city, your flats in the city, your hotel in the city, your shops in the city, they're likely going to be hit by missiles. But in the country, it is very rare that a missile will be sent, because they send the missiles, the bombs, in much populated areas. They don't send it in a place where there are 2 people, 3 people. No, they send it in overpopulated areas like your cities, your towns, your suburbs, those places with money, places with properties, because they want to hurt the system. You understand? So, like we're saying, this video is important. This message is important. We need to know that. All right. Let me take Edwin Tamperong. He says that yes, you are right. Even though I don't like the mark of the beast and number, I will follow them because I understand what they are and who they are. The only commandment of the Lord God I will follow. Yeah, no, no, no. Big up to you. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. You see, you'll have to choose between following the commandments of God and following the mark of the beast. That's where the choice should be made. See, because the mark of the beast, it will be man-made laws, man-made rules, man-made worship system, man-made day of worship. You know, the other day we spoke about where the Sunday worship came about, how the Sunday worship came about. Even day before yesterday, we spoke about the papacy, that the Sunday worship, it was the papacy's making, papacy's origin. It has its origin in Catholicism. You understand? So it will also again be brought back again, and the papacy, the papal power, will be behind Sunday worship, and all religious bodies will be behind the papal power in implementing Sunday worship. You understand? So when we know the will of God, we will not follow the beast. Okay? But if you don't know the will of God, and if you don't know the agenda of the beast, you understand, you will not know whether to reject it or accept it, whether to receive it or not to receive it. But once you know and understand the mark of the beast and its purpose, even if you are not a Christian, even if you are not a child of God, even if you don't believe in God, you'll be able to see through it that no, I'm being forced to worship on Sunday. I'm being forced to choose a day here. Whose day is this one? How did it come about? Who gets to benefit when I go to a chapel, a mosque, a synagogue, a church, a shrine on a Sunday? Who am I doing it on whose behalf do I do this? So you don't need to be a believer for you to understand the mark of the beast. That is why we keep emphasizing that here at All Things Podcast, we are not expecting you to be a believer or not to be a believer. We expect you to be a fair person, honest, honest. You listen honestly, you judge honestly, you look at things that are happening and you judge them based on how the things are unfolding. We don't believe in this thing of arguing out of the air, arguing for the sake of arguing, talking for the sake of arguing. We believe that you must be informed before you say something. You must have understanding of the events that are taking place. If you don't know things taking place, you just listen. If you know and you have information, you share. Where we agree, we agree. Where we disagree, we disagree. That is the purpose of this platform, All Things Podcast. It is not to speak bad about Christians. It is not to speak bad about Muslims. It is not to speak bad about Catholics. It is not to speak bad about Hindus, atheists. But if the topic touches on Islam, we'll talk about Islam. We will not choose what to say and what not to say. We'll say all that must be said about Islam. If it touches Christianity, we'll talk about Christianity. We will not hide anything. We will mention all that needs to be mentioned. If we talk about atheists, we'll talk about atheism. We'll touch all the points that needs to be touched. We will not compromise. We will be impartial. We'll be independent. Undiluted analysis we're going to give. So even now, we've been giving undiluted information, uncompromising information about the mark of the beast. That the mark of the beast is going to come. And the only book that tells us about the mark of the beast is the Bible. So you cannot talk about the mark of the beast and leave the Bible outside, because the mark of the beast crisis is the prophecy in the Bible. Ron Lake says they know many people, or they know many peoples will party on. All right, all right. They're counting on it. They are counting on it. They're counting on many people, to be party to the mark of the beast, to receive the mark of the beast. They're counting on it. And like I said, majority of people, especially Christians, uninformed Christians, ill-informed Christians, will be the problem when the mark of the beast comes, because they will defend it using the very same Bible. that is against Sunday worship. They will defend the mark of the beast and support Sunday worship using the very same Bible. And they will be claiming peace. God wants us to, He's a God of peace. He wants peace. So for us to have peace, we must all keep Sunday. We must all worship on Sunday. The very same Christians, they will be manipulating scriptures. So they're very dangerous people when it comes to the mark of the beast. It will be Christians. Ill-informed Christians, misinformed Christians will be the problem when it comes to the mark of the beast. They'll be behind the Pope. They'll be behind the papacy. They'll be behind this mark of the beast. I can tell you that for free. And so all religious bodies will be influenced by Christians. The only thing, and here's the catch is, when they argue about Sunday worship, it will be said, why do you want us to honor the Christian day of worship? And it will be said, Sunday is not a Christian day of worship. The Christian day of worship is Sabbath day, the seventh day of the week. So we're not calling you to follow the Sabbath day, the Bible day. So you have no reason, you Muslim, to keep Friday, because even us Christians, we're not keeping Saturday. Because biblically, we're supposed to keep Saturday, but we don't keep Saturday, we keep Sunday. So this is where they have it well organized, well prepared. So when the Buddhists complain about Sunday, when the Muslim complain about Sunday, when the atheists complain about Sunday, they will say, why do you want us to follow the Bible? Why we don't believe in the Bible? And it will be proven that Sunday is not from the Bible. So by us globally keeping Sunday, it's not that we're following the Bible. We're not following the Bible because Sunday worship is not in the Bible. And this is where the powers that be have calculated this thing. They've looked into it and they've planned it so much that it is impossible for it to fail. And it will not fail. It will happen. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed, or if you are joining us for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing. Let me ask the question, do you guys understand what we're talking about today? Did you understand what we're talking about? Did you get it? Did you get it? Do you get it? Do you see the mark of the beast? Before, did you think the mark of the beast will affect us the way it has just been explained? Or you thought the mark of the beast was just a number on the forehead? It has nothing to do with what I've just mentioned. So the mark of the beast, that's all that it has to do. It's about taking your rights, your freedoms. You will have no freedom. You'll have no rights. You will have nothing, like nothing. You will be treated like an immigrant in your own country. You will be treated like an immigrant without an ID, without any rights. You understand? When the mark of the beast comes. So yeah, I think this is where we end it this today. This is where we end our live, the mark of the beast. If you have just joined us, please watch it from the beginning and subscribe to the channel. Don't leave without subscribing the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. So this is where we end it. This is where we end it. Anybody have anything to say? A question? Anything to say? A question or addition? I will read it into the record. Anything you want to say? Let me take Ron Lake. Ron Lake says they know that many people as well party on the holiday thinking it is Sunday. Exactly. Many people think Sunday is the holiday. You understand? Majority of the world's population, they think Sunday is the holiday. Sunday is the Sabbath. Sunday it's not. Sunday is not. Sunday it's a pagan day of worship. You understand? It has nothing to do with the Bible. So many people don't know about that. And many people, there was a guy on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I don't remember his name. I think it had Peter Blueband. Yeah, it was Peter Blueband, something like that. He believed that Sunday it was changed in the Bible. He believed that he was sending verses, a lot of them, but all of them, they were out. You understand? they were not supporting him. They were just mentioning Sunday. Sunday is not a day of worship. Sunday is not a day of worship. It was never a day of worship, for Christians, true Christians. Remember, I spoke about devout Christians, genuine Christian. I talk about devout Muslims. I talk about devout Buddhists. That when this crisis comes, it is those devout persons who will stand against this agenda. It will be those who will stand and say, no, we cannot betray Islam. We cannot betray Christianity. We cannot betray. So in every religion, there are genuine people in that religion. People who will die in defense of their religion. So not everyone in all these religions, in Christianity, in Islam, in Catholicism, in all these religions, not everyone will buy into the mark of the beast. Those who truly believe in their religion, in its purity, they will want nothing to contaminate it. They will not want to dilute it for the for the peace, for the world's peace. They will say they reject it. In fact, they will reject it. And as they reject it, this is where the mark of the beast is implemented to say, if you don't believe in this, if you don't follow us, then there is no need for you to benefit from the system. How can you benefit from the system you reject? How can you benefit from the system you don't like, the system you don't support? Your ID, digital ID cancelled, digital currency cancelled, your house taken, your car taken, your business taken, everything taken from you. That is the mark of the beast. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. God bless you. Good night to those of you whom it is night. Good morning to all of you that the sun has just come out or coming out. Good evening to you whom the sun has set. And wherever you're watching us from, thank you from New Orleans, Wild David 3501, New Orleans. Thank you for watching us from there. Ron Lake, wherever you are watching us from, we want to thank you for taking your time to join us, taking your time to be with us. We're grateful for your moments that you spend with us. Let me take Wild David 3501. He says, God's first act of creation, first day, he said, let there be light. And the first day is Sunday. The seventh day is the Sabbath. Exactly. The first day. Oh my. Thank you, Wild David. Thank you, Wild David. You understand? This is where you have. Oh, okay. Can we talk next time? Can we talk about evolution? Can we talk about evolution? Evolution, because evolution replaces creation. And Ron Lake from Tulsa, thank you, Ron Lake. Ron Lake from Tulsa, thank you for watching us from Tulsa. And I'm saying that next time let's talk about evolution, Wild David, because evolution replaces creation. Evolution replaces God. Evolution says there is no creator. Things created themselves. Human being mutated until they became what they are. You understand? All the animals, they were like this, and mutation. So evolution wipes God out of the system. In other words, evolution says there's no God. You understand? Because things evolved on their own. And therefore, when you talk about creation, Wild David, the people don't believe in creation. They don't believe in the first day of the week. They don't believe in the seventh day of the week, the Sabbath, because there is no creator. Things just appeared. But you and I know, Wild David, that God is the creator. First day, he said, let there be light. Second day, divided. Third day, fourth day, moon, stars, sun are created. Fifth day, we know God is creating you understand, the fishes of the sea. We know sixth day, God is creating the beast of the land and all that. We know there's a creator. So next time we're gonna talk about evolution and creation. What was the purpose of evolution? Why were we not told that God is the creator? Why Christian education was removed from schools and evolution came in to tell us that things evolved on their own? Don't leave without subscribing. Subscribe to the channel. May you have a wonderful day. To those who are keeping the Sabbath, in few hours time the Sabbath will start. Few hours to some 4 hours, to some 8 hours, to some 9 hours, to some in 12 hours. The sun will set wherever, because it's a global platform. So wherever you are, when the Sabbath comes, happy Sabbath to all of you that will be keeping the Sabbath day. I know the Islam soon, 2 hours, 2 hours, some 1 hour, it will be their time to go and worship. May they have a wonderful worship too. And one day we must stand together against the mark of the beast, both Islam, Christianity, all of us. One day we must stand against the mark of the beast. And I hope we'll be able to stand against the mark of the beast. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely weekend.